Here we're looking at John Kasich at 9%. Well, Bernie Sanders now at 51% and Hillary Clinton at 48%. And still, again, very close with 75%
But not unexpected. Bernie did a couple of really big rallies here Sunday and then also Monday.
Right, and then not 2 weeks ago when we covered that rally as well. Donald Trump, look at him, 40%. Ted Cruz, 30%.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I have to mention there are some counties that had not reported their numbers because Cruz on the southwestern counties did win all of them.
But the national guys called it for Trump, right?
Right, they did.
That's what we
they
get
did.
so far, right?
And so those are the numbers we have right now. So like I said, you know, there's still some counties that are waiting on. St. Louis City hasn't reported their numbers yet, so we're still waiting on that. The county has about 56% reporting. Hillary Clinton in Illinois at the Democratic Party, 51%. Bernie Sanders at 48%. So very close in that race as well.
Now, we did break down some of the counties, and it's interesting to see that actually, for instance, in our viewing area, Trump seemed to be exceeding some of the expectations, which was interesting. Yeah. But Cruz kind of caught up, and he's catching up too in some of the.
So, for example, St. Charles, Trump at 42%, Cruz at 39%.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then we go over to St. Louis County, Trump at 37% and Cruz at 35%.
Yeah, and Ted Cruz seemingly winning a lot of the western areas,
the southwestern counties, right?
Win Kansas.
But the question is, will that be enough?
Right. Right. Well, we'll see, because it'll be down to the wire, and of course, we'll keep you updated throughout the entirety of this cast. And thank you, Aisha Khan. Mark Kaysen, interesting that Hillary, and welcome back to our election coverage here at the Allman Report. Aisha Khan standing by with the latest numbers. And of course, we know this Ted Cruz, Donald Trump race, very, very tight at this point. I mean, it's down to like the 0.1 percentage. Not all the counties, not everybody's reporting yet.
Still not. We're still waiting on City of St. Louis. I'm still reporting at 0%, and the last we checked was at 56% for St. Louis County. Now Trump taking at 41.5% and Cruz at 41.1%. And well, actually, right here is a Donald Trump at 42 now.
Wow.
And Ted Cruz at 41 in Missouri Republican Party race. And that's, of course, you know, those are two guys in competition, as we're going to focus on here, too.
Yeah, and again, it's boiling down to just a few thousand votes here, and these guys were really battling. Ted Cruz with his field offices, Donald Trump with his rallies and that kind of thing. And by the way, Donald Trump did call in to the Allman Report show because he told us, listen, let's go to the Missouri numbers. So numbers still coming in, but we have a new number here.
86% reporting in Missouri right now. Again, Donald Trump still leading at 42%. Ted Cruz right behind him at 41%. I do have update for the city of St. Louis. They're at 99% now. 35% for Trump and Cruz at 32%.
Wow, that's close in the city of St. Louis between those two.
And I do want to mention Cape Girardeau as well. Cruz there now is 47% and Trump is at 39%.
Yeah, that's not surprising, Cape Girardeau for sure. But boy, in the city of St. Louis, those numbers are pretty amazing how tight they are. It just again goes to show that people are not in the mood for the establishment guys. Election officials were expecting record turnout today for primaries at the polls on both sides of the river. 80 degrees out there. My goodness gracious. No excuses at all. Aisha Khan visited some of the polling places to see how things went today. Aisha?
Well, it's been a steady stream of voters coming through here at Bristol Elementary School here in Webster Groves. And some of the people I spoke with say normally they don't vote in a primary, but this year it's different.
Ready to vote? With a new baby in hand and a young daughter tagging along, Jessica Graw of Webster Groves wanted to set an example of why voting is important.
It's worth bringing a screaming baby to the polls for an hour or so to get that right and to have my voice be heard.
Graw says this year's primary held a different meaning from any of the others past.
Most of the issues that are important to me come from a mother's perspective, especially looking into the future. I want to think about what's going to make the biggest impact on her life, his life, clearly.
There you go.
Meanwhile, Kenneth and Carol Holian never missed the opportunity. After all, for Carol, it's her first time voting in a primary.
I think our country needs some help.
For Kenneth, voting for the right candidate meant someone who will work toward protecting his country.
My worry is the factor that terrorism is becoming almost a thing that you kind of look at and say, well, it happened again. And that's not America.
Volunteers tell me their morning was quite busy and they are expecting to get even busier after work. So if you're standing in line at 7 o'clock, you can still vote. For the Allman Report, I'm Aisha Khan in Webster Groves.